I'm Beatrice. I'm sitting in my car, watching my ex-husband, Leo, collapse to his knees in the rearview mirror. Just a moment ago, I told him I was divorcing him because of his affair. His parents, who had always sided with him, had already ordered me to leave. Now, as I drive away from the home we once shared, I can't help but reflect on how things went so wrong. Leo and I first met at work. I was 35, and he was 32. I was a senior manager at a marketing firm, and he was a fresh-faced junior employee. I took him under my wing, showing him the ropes and helping him develop his skills. At first, I saw him only as a mentee. But as time passed, we grew closer. After about 5 years, he landed a new job at another company. Before he left, he confessed his feelings to me. "I've been in love with you for a long time, Beatrice," he said, his eyes filled with sincerity. I was overjoyed because I had feelings for him too. I was also sad that we'd be parting ways. "I feel the same way, Leo," I replied with a smile. And so, we started dating. Our relationship was wonderful. We had dinner dates after work and spent our weekends exploring the city. After a year of dating, Leo proposed. "When I first met you, Beatrice, I knew you were the one. Even after a year together, my feelings for you haven't changed. I need you in my life. Will you marry me?" he asked, full of hope. I was deeply touched and of course, I said yes. We introduced our parents to each other and had a beautiful wedding. I thought our married life would be a dream come true. In the beginning, it was. We shared household chores and spent quality time together on our days off, going to the movies, shopping, and taking long drives. About 6 months into our marriage, our small apartment started to feel cramped. We thought about the future, about having children, so we decided to look for a bigger place. We found a lovely house in a nice neighborhood. It was a bit expensive, but we were happy with our decision. When we moved in, it was like a fairy tale. The house had an open-concept kitchen, which made cooking a pleasure. Each room was spacious, and there were plenty of areas to relax. Leo seemed content, and every day was filled with happiness. But then, one day, Leo's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Thompson, came to visit. They were immediately impressed by the house. "Wow, this is amazing. The rooms are so big," Mrs. Thompson exclaimed. "Yes, it's a great place, isn't it?" Leo replied proudly. I was glad they liked it. However, not long after, Leo received a call from his parents. "Huh? They want to move in with us?" he asked, looking surprised. I was stunned. We'd only been married for half a year, and we'd just moved into this new house. I couldn't believe they would even suggest such a thing, and I was sure Leo would turn them down. "Well, I'll ask Beatrice if she's okay with it," he said, looking at me expectantly. I was confused. It seemed obvious I'd say no. Why wasn't he saying no himself? After he hung up, I asked him about it. "What's going on?" I inquired. "It's my parents. They want to live here," he replied. "What? They want to leave their own house and live here?" I asked, completely bewildered. "Yeah," Leo nodded. "Their house has some structural problems, and it would be really expensive to fix. They think it's cheaper to live with us." I was frustrated. This seemed like it was just for their convenience. If they were old and needed care, I might understand, but this was just them wanting a nicer place without paying for it. "I don't agree with this," I said firmly. "Huh? Why not?" Leo asked, looking confused. "We've only been married for half a year. I don't think it's the right time to live with your parents," I replied. Leo looked upset. "You heard what I said. My parents are in a tough spot. It'll cost a fortune to repair their house," he argued. "I get that," I responded, "but I still think they should handle their own problems. They could repair the house, sell it, or renovate it. But Leo wasn't listening. He got angry. "I didn't know you were so heartless, Beatrice. Isn't it normal for a wife to help her husband's parents when they're in need?" he asked, sounding hurt. "Are you serious?" I shot back. "If my parents wanted to live here, would you let them?" "I think it would be fine," he replied defensively. "What?" I was shocked. "Well, if your parents were in trouble, I wouldn't turn them away," he said. I wasn't sure if he really meant it or if he was just trying to make me look bad. A few days later, Mr. and Mrs. Thompson showed up at our house with a bunch of suitcases. "Oh, these are heavy, Mr. Thompson muttered. "We're getting old, Mrs. Thompson added. "You must be tired," Leo said. "Mom, Dad, here's your room." "And that's Dad's," he said casually. I was in shock. I pulled Leo aside. "What's going on?" I demanded. "We're living with my parents now," he said nonchalantly. I said no, I replied, shocked. "I can't leave them in a difficult situation." "I'm the head of this house, and you have to accept it," Leo said firmly. I was forced to live with his parents. They started unpacking their things and immediately started moving my stuff around. "Don't just throw my things everywhere," I protested. "It's your fault for not organizing them, Mrs. Thompson snapped. "Now that we're living here, you better keep the place tidy." I was furious. I hadn't agreed to this, yet I was being treated like a servant. They gave me orders as if I was their maid. "I'm tired from unpacking. Can you go get some drinks?" Mr. Thompson asked. "I'll have some too, Mrs. Thompson added. "This is what a wife should do without being asked," she concluded. They clearly knew I wasn't happy about them moving in, and it made them treat me even worse. The house, which used to be tidy when it was just Leo and me, quickly became a mess. They were home all day but didn't help with the cleaning. Instead, they expected me to do everything. Housework is the wife's job. Why should we clean? Mrs. Thompson would say, dumping all the tasks on me. I refused to play their game. I only did the bare minimum, relying on the robot vacuum. They complained all the time, saying, "You're so useless." I feel sorry for Leo. Even Leo joined in, calling me an unfit wife. I started to wonder if I had made a mistake marrying him. And then, things got even worse. Leo started coming home late, saying he had to work. But he didn't look tired, and I noticed a strange perfume scent on him. My gut told me something was wrong, so I hired a detective. Sure enough, he was having an affair with a younger woman who worked at a nightclub. I was heartbroken, but I also knew this gave me the upper hand for a divorce. I hired a lawyer and started preparing. Meanwhile, Mr. and Mrs. Thompson continued their carefree lifestyle. Mr. Thompson, who was retired, went golfing every day, and Mrs. Thompson had tea parties with her friends, buying expensive designer clothes. I didn't understand their spending habits, but I didn't say anything. I found a new place to live, and after talking to my lawyer, I was ready to file for divorce. I just needed to give Leo the divorce papers. But before I could, he left for a business trip. I was suspicious, but I decided to wait for him to come back. One night, while I was taking a bath, I came out to the living room to get a drink. I found Mr. and Mrs. Thompson glaring at me. They had found the divorce papers on the table. "What is this?" Mrs. Thompson shouted. "Did you come into my room without asking?" I asked, more angry about the invasion of my privacy than the discovery of the papers. "It doesn't matter, Mr. Thompson snapped. "It matters to me," I said, irritated. "Why are the divorce papers here?" Mrs. Thompson demanded. I decided to tell them the truth. "Your son is having an affair, and that's why I'm divorcing him." They exchanged glances, and then Mr. Thompson sneered, "So you got dumped? A younger girl will be my son's wife. Doesn't that sound better?" I couldn't believe what I was hearing. They actually seemed happy about my pain. Then Mrs. Thompson said, "Leave right now." "Sure, I'll leave, but I need to arrange for a moving company." "I'll take all my things with me," I responded coldly. "Your stuff is just a nuisance. It'd be better if you left before our son comes back, Mr. Thompson barked. I was done with their behavior and Leo's betrayal. I called the movers, and they said they could come in 2 days. I set it up, and since my new place was already ready, I was prepared to go. When I told them I'd be leaving in 2 days, they suggested going on a hot spring trip so I could move without bothering them. I didn't care, it made things easier for me. The movers came, packed up all my things, and left. Just as I was about to drive away, Leo returned home. "Where are you going?" he asked, looking confused. "To the new place," I replied calmly. "What? What do you mean?" he asked, panicked. "I've left the divorce papers on your desk in the living room," I said. "What? What are you talking about?" he stammered. "I'm divorcing you because of your affair," I said firmly. He looked shocked. "Wait, let's talk about this," he pleaded. "No. From now on, I'll only talk to you through my lawyer," I responded. "I've already told your parents everything. They were happy when I told them about your affair and told me to leave immediately. By the way, I've been paying more than half the rent and now I'm leaving. You'll have to cover it by yourself. And I'm claiming a divorce settlement," I said, looking him in the eye. I didn't give him a chance to say anything else. I started the car and drove away, watching him collapse in the rearview mirror. Later, I got a call from Mr. and Mrs. Thompson. "Why is there no furniture or appliances left?" Mr. Thompson shouted. "I told you, I'm taking all my belongings. The furniture and appliances in that house were bought by me," I replied, satisfied. "What? That's not true, Mrs. Thompson protested. "Yes, it is. I make more money than Leo," I said confidently. They were shocked. "Oh, and tell your son about the rent situation. You won't be able to live for free anymore," I added. "Please come back. We don't want this, Mrs. Thompson begged. "Your house didn't sell for much, and we don't have any savings," she tried to reason. "Well, that's what happens when you spend money recklessly." "It's not my problem," I said firmly before hanging up and blocking their numbers. I continued the divorce process with my lawyer. I even demanded a settlement from the woman Leo had an affair with. In the end, they each had to pay me $2,000. Leo ended up canceling the contract for the new place because he couldn't afford it without my income. I heard he's now living in a small, cramped apartment with his parents, dealing with the mess of his father's golf clubs and his mother's designer clothes. His parents are borrowing money left and right and struggling to make ends meet. On the other hand, I'm doing well. I'm living in a comfortable one-room apartment and have a steady job. I'm going to focus on my career and aim for a promotion and a raise. I've learned my lesson, and I'm ready to move on with my life.